Welcome to Behind the Smoke Podcast, Barbecue War Stories. My name is Sean Walchef with Cali Comfort Barbecue. We are recording above the butcher shop on Fight Week with my man Derek Marso from Valley Farm Market. What up, D?
Dude, it is insane. This rain. I just left La Jolla, and I think La Jolla is going to flood.
I think it might.
Dude, it was wild. Here in San Diego, we're very, very spoiled, and we get just such amazing weather. So when it sprinkles a little bit, I think we actually call it a flood.
Yeah, I think one of my favorite things is on our Behind the Smoke Facebook page. Olav from Norway started giving us shit because he said that we don't really know what rain is. Dude. And I'm guessing we probably have no idea what rain or snow is in San Diego, so we are very spoiled.
No, for sure. But we are talking about a fight week. I started a journey about a year ago, getting back in shape and joining a gym. And I was fortunate to do the 10th Planet Gym. Sean started coming with me. But in the process, we got to meet a lot of really, really cool people. Today, we have some guests that are really, really cool for us because they are the biggest part of the boxing gym, biggest part of the boxing part of this gym. And it's a father-son duo, Prince and Tiger Smalls. Welcome, guys. Welcome.
Thank you.
So what we're doing is that we want to kind of dig into kind of what you guys do, and we know you got a fight coming up. We got a fight on Saturday, and it's for the WBC title in Mexico, right?
Yes, it's the WBC Latino America's title.
And Prince, you're fighting, and it's at the 125 weight class.
126.
126. So you still said you got about 6 more pounds to cut?
Yeah.
And I was talking to him a little bit before the podcast, and how wild is this, that he'll gain from the time he weighs in to the time that he gets to fight. He said he's going to go for a record, and he's going to try to gain as much weight as he can, and he thinks he's going to hit 15 or 16 pounds.
That's incredible.
In one day.
24-hour period.
I mean, a gluttonous fuck like me, I think I could do it. But being 126, I don't know. That's going to be a big feat for you. So talk to me. I mean, how's training been going? What are you guys doing?
Training has been going really well. We got good round sparring. My dad's been on top of me with my sprints. I've been doing a little bit of strength training. And like I said, everything's been going well training-wise. And for the diet, I just got to lose a few more pounds. But other than that, we're right on where we should be.
So your dad's been training you. Tiger, talk to us a little bit about the training. I mean, you train a fucking ton of people. I mean, you talk about boxing in San Diego, everyone knows who you are. So talk to us. I mean, how do you get your son motivated? I mean, being a father-son dude, I know how I talk to my dad sometimes. And I mean, it can be a little tricky. So how do you guys separate that? How does that all work?
Yeah, we separate the father-son business relationship pretty well. He listens to me as an athlete, so it's pretty easy, but I'm kind of harder on him because I know what it is, and I know that this is a very dangerous sport. So sure. I try to stay on top of him to let him know that, yeah, we have to have fun, but you have to stay cautious as well. So
yeah, and he was talking about doing sprints and stuff. Is there certain things you guys do that are just dedicated towards, getting ready for the fight? Like, do you do sprints year round, or is it just, okay, we're going to do sprints now to kind of get your endurance up?
Well, yeah, I make him do the sprints because he's a flashy fighter. Mm-hmm. And, when he's, there's certain ways you could win fights and certain ways you could win rounds. And one of the ways you could win rounds is you could relax for, in spurts, steal spurts. And I want him to be prepared for that just in case if he have to do that, since he's flashy anyway. If he have to just run off a flurry and have to gain his wind back real quickly and pursue the round and the fight, it's no problem. So that's why getting closer to the fight, I have him even do more sprints because I know I want that wind to be able to pick up and he'll be able to maintain it.
Now, you know all this because you were in the same position, right? You used to fight at 126, same exact weight class. Right. So that's pretty cool just in itself.
Right.
But now, you kind of were you a flashy fighter as well? Did you do the spurts?
Yeah.
And would you whoop your son? I mean, who's the better fighter? Come on.
Okay. Honesty. I was flashy. I think I was more
aggressive.
I was more aggressive. I was more mean. He smiles a lot.
Right.
But bodies are different. Like, for instance, after the weigh-in, I would gain a lot of weight too, right? But my first meal, my stomach would shrink. So I would have a big plate. So I would eat like maybe 2 bites, so I don't have to push it away. This motherfucker here, we went to a buffet and I was like, damn, this is a waste of my money. I remember early in your career, right? I was like, this is a waste of my fucking money because I know his stomach shrunk. This motherfucker went crazy at the buffet. I was like, this like for real. So
Proteins.
it was so like different,
Proteins and carbs. all of it.
everything.
You name it, he's got
everything.
Done.
Dessert.
Yeah,
Everything.
Once the weigh-ins is finished,
Oh yeah, he goes.
I'm
So
finished with
I
all
mean,
that
like
everything.
everybody's a little different. So I try to compare myself to him, and I can't. And to answer the question, when he first started, I would have fucked him up.
Right.
I would have fucked him up. I told you that, boy. I would have
it better be.
beat his ass. But now, I'm.
When did the switch happen? What was your career record?
My career record at the end, it ended up at 22 and 13.
22 and 13.
22 and 13.
Were any of those losses worse?
Most of my
Which
losses
was the
were
worst?
robberies.
Were robberies?
No, I swear to God, no, because I'm
All
I'm
decisions?
Yeah, I got knocked out once. Well, really not knocked out. I got stopped once. But most of I swear, I was never signed until the end of my career. And when they did sign me, when Don King and them was fucking with me, they was only fucking with me to fuck with me. Like they was only using me.
Really?
Right? So
And that's kind of part of the business.
that's
right?
part of the business. And I didn't give a fuck long as he was giving me my money.
Sure.
Right? But most of my losses were robberies. And I've only, like, I could admit to the people that I lost, like, this one African dude beat the shit out of me. I've never beaten a Dominican kid. Like, they beat shit out. Like, I don't know what the fuck is up with that. I think I thought about it like 2 years ago. I was like, I've fought about 3 or 4 fucking Dominicans in my life, and I've never beaten one. Like, they've all whooped my ass, like, decisively too. Like, I will never go out to the Dominican Republic and talk shit. I'll tell you that. But anyway, yeah, I mean, most of my losses, to be honest with you, were robberies, and it is what it is.
Were you born to fight? I know that at age 3, something historic happened to you, and not just you, but your bloodline.
Right.
Do you think you were born to fight? What happened at age 3?
Well, at age 3 is when, I started, getting interested in boxing. But it was at age 5, if you're referring to the Muhammad Ali.
Yes.
That was at age 5. I had already been in the Daily News and in a lot of magazines about being the youngest boxer. And that's what made Muhammad Ali seek me out.
Yes.
And brought me up to his training camp in Deer Lake, Pennsylvania. But at age 3,
And you were photographed with him, right?
Right. I was photographed with him. I was in his camp messing around,
That's awesome.
Meeting all his sparring partners and stuff like that. So that was definitely.
So there was high expectations at an early age.
Right.
Kind of like someone in this room.
Right.
When you come from a bloodline,
for sure.
high expectations. How do you deal with your dad's expectations?
I mean, it's not really a lot of pressure on me. He keeps me level. He's always on me. Like he's hard on me. I'm not gonna lie, but it's not really. I don't really feel pressured, knowing that he was my dad and how much he accomplished in the sport and how he was brought up. I think it's a lot how he grounded me. Like coming up, he kind of groomed me to like be ready for this kind of thing, this championship, this fight life, and everything. So I'm not really pressured by that. It's almost like I was made for this kind of thing. I don't know how to explain this.
No, for sure. I mean, you're definitely. I mean, sometimes growing up, you don't. I mean, even I can have a little parallel for just doing what we do. Like my dad's always been a butcher, and I've been able to break down cattle and do it my whole life. And it's just something that everyone's like, well, when did you learn? And like, how'd you know? And I'm like, it's just what I do.
Right.
It's just what I do. I don't really know anything else.
Right.
And, people will talk about, working, like, how do you work so much? How do you have, you're working 7 days a week or you're working on weekends. And I'm like, it's just all I know. I've never known a different way. So it's probably the same concept. Like you just don't know anything different. Just what I do. It's
right.
what I do well. So what's your record right now?
My record right now is 14-1 with 6 knockouts.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. Now, how did you get this WBC fight? Like how does this all work? Because I know boxing, there's some political stuff
There's
and
some bullshit.
Yeah, there's some
a lot of
bullshit.
there's a lot of fucking bullshit that happens.
Well, I mean,
No
even
doubt.
look, even look at the fight that this weekend, right? That was a fucking rad fight.
Absolutely.
I mean, and I don't know anything about boxing,
Yeah.
and I mean, I thought that was just an amazing fight,
It
and then to come to a draw. Well, it's like there's a lot of money to be made for another fight for them,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
But how does this all work for you guys to get the WBC title shot? That's pretty amazing.
Well, for me, I really just stay in the gym and train, and whatever my dad has me do, that's what I do. My dad is the one that manages my career. He's the one that's making all the connections, and any opportunity that's thrown my way, I know that has something to do with my dad. So I don't know the people he's talked to or the things he had to do to make this happen, but I do know that he's fully in control of what happens in my career, and he does everything.
So now from fighting in the ring, now you got to fight in the political crowd.
But I know about that.
Right.
Well, to be honest, the way this title fight came about is because, the loss that he fought was a title fight. Then quietly we came back and fought 2 more fights and knocked them out. I think both of them were first round knockouts, right?
Yeah.
So, we have to step up in competition. There's no way we're just going to pad the record. So since we, stepped it up again in competition, and the person that they offered us was a knockout artist, 10 wins, 3 losses, 10 knockouts.
Wow.
So with me being a businessman, I always wanted to, put my son in a position where the risk is always worth the reward. And I'm quite confident that he's going to be the first man to stop this guy. However, I told him, is there a vacant title out there or something? Because why are we going to sit up here and just fight him in a fight?
Right.
For what? For what? I mean, we're fighting to fight because we're fighters, but we're fighting, in my world, with a purpose. I'm fighting for him to become champion. Right. I'm fighting with a purpose. So if we're going to fight a knockout artist that I feel we can knock out anyway, so we're going to accept the fight, why not negotiate something on the line for it?
So is it for the prestige of the belt, or is it for the prestige of the purse?
It's for me, and I feel for him, the prestige of the belt. Right now, we want the WBC. Mm-hmm. We want to be on their radar, and that's why we sought out a WBC belt.
What kind of fucked up things happened in your career that you're trying to avoid with your son's career, as far as the business end, and exactly what you said, not just fighting to fight,
right,
but fighting with a purpose,
to
build a brand and to build, something where he can have a career and he can have opportunity that, let's say, you might not have been afforded?
Well, I fucked myself.
How so?
I did a lot of shit, my talents were there, but I was never signed because I never wanted to be signed in the beginning part of my career. I was fighting with the Great Western Forum, but I never signed with them. And I was actually undefeated.
That was a management group, the Great Western Forum?
The Great Western Forum, no, they was actually a promotional company.
So
they actually promoted boxing.
But they also represented fighters?
Yeah, they Marco Antonio Barrera, Mark Too Sharp Johnson.
Is there a conflict of interest to be the promoter and the representation for fighters?
Sometimes, yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can be. And sometimes, the manager is the promoter. Like, I consider myself his promoter. Mm-hmm. I promote my son. But for me, I fucked my stuff up because I was too outgoing, and he's nothing like me. What did you do?
Give us a little bit of the backstory, the controversial,
the behind the smoke.
Behind the
smoke. Speaking of behind the smoke, that's what started this shit.
I was smoking too much.
Yeah, I was smoking, and I opened my big mouth. I did it was all taken out of context. I did it because, back then, all these fighters were getting busted for steroids and all that shit. Look like they are today.
Sure.
Right.
And my point was, a lot of people when they pop positive for other, drugs or things, people are misinterpreted. They think like if you pop positive for marijuana, you're high right then. No, I mean, it was in your system, but you're not in the fucking ring. You're not in the back in the dressing room smoking a fucking blunt. You know what I mean? So what I was saying is, why are they even testing for it? Test for only performance-enhancing drugs. So I figured after one of my title fights, High Times came up and they interviewed me. And
so did they know you? Like, they already knew that
they knew that I was fighting for the title.
And they knew that you were smoking.
And they knew that I was smoking.
And you didn't give a fuck.
No, I didn't care. I didn't know that I had to, though. But no, I really didn't. I didn't know that I had to. So, I did the...
But you did what was honest. You did what was true to your brand. Let's be honest.
True to yourself.
You were true to yourself. You didn't give a fuck.
I was true to myself then.
Yes.
You have kids that listen to this, right? I don't smoke now.
Right, no.
I know it's legal, but I don't do that. All right? Anyway, what I'm trying to say is I fucked up because I ratted on myself, right? I told people that I smoked weed, and the boxing world did not like that.
Isn't that wild? You really start to think about it.
It's crazy.
Like, I mean, we can have a whole other podcast about marijuana, right?
Absolutely.
But I did it with my belts.
Right.
I did it with my belts. So, the WBO president called me. And before it even hit the stands and was like, what the fuck? He was yelling. I was like, what?
What year was this?
I think 2005.
2005. So we're still internet era.
Oh yeah, this
Oh,
motherfucker was hot. He was hot, and he was in Puerto Rico, bro. And I'm like, what the fuck? What are you talking about, right? And he says, so you every time you spar when you're high, it's like a video game. I said, oh, that sounds like a quote. I said, oh, no, I never said that. I never, I told him, I said, these motherfuckers were lying and this, that, and the third. Right, so I hung up the phone with him. I called this, I think it was another reporter called boxing2005.com. I called him up. I said, yo, man, you got to do an article on me. I got to fucking save my ass. Right, I was like, yo, I never smoke weed. Kids don't smoke weed. Don't blah, 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 right? So, but it didn't save me.
No.
It was already the
high times. And then after that was the ESPN.
Right, which they were after me anyway, but that was a 20.
What did you do?
I put goldenpalace.com on my back, and
you got paid for a sponsorship.
I got paid, decent amount of money for that, and ESPN was pissed the fuck off. They was like, yo, you got to take that off your back. And I was like, for what? They was like, because we're paying you to fight. You can't make extra income. And that's where they fucked up. That's how I won the case. Because, NASCAR do it. Everybody does it, right?
Sure.
So I was like, what are you talking about? So they was like, you cover it up, we'll pay you double. Whatever your sponsors is paying you, we'll pay you double. And your purse, just cover it up. So until now, because this is behind the smoke, right? I'm going to tell you guys the truth. So all my friends think I was this gangster and just did it anyway. But I swear to God, right? I took because I want to double the money, right? So I took I had my sister take a magic marker and we fucking blotted this shit out. So I just have a fucking block. It was just a block. I swear to God, a black block on my back. That's it, right?
And then it sweated off.
Sweat off while I'm warming up. But we don't know. We don't fucking know. So I get out there and when they introduce it and I take off my robe, if you really look at the tape, you could see my sister like this. Immediately, the minute we took off the road, because now ESPN's going to find me. Right. They're going to hold up my purse and all that bullshit. But
who won the fight?
They robbed me.
Oh, that fight.
That's one of them. Yeah, that's one of the fights that they robbed me, which you can go back and watch the fight. I whooped his ass and they robbed me. In his hometown. I was one of those guys. I'd go to your hometown, whoop your ass and, get robbed.
That's interesting. So, you have high expectations coming from a boxing heritage, this boxing bloodline. Do you have brothers and sisters?
I have brothers and sisters, yes.
Older, younger?
I'm the oldest out of everybody.
Oh, you're the oldest.
Yeah.
So you're the firstborn.
Yeah, and I'm the only boxer.
Ah, the only boxer.
Really?
How'd that happen?
I haven't been boxing that long. It was about maybe now 9 years ago. It was in 2008, 2009. I would because my dad was already retired, so then I came back to live with him. And I'm coming home from school, going to the gym because that's where he worked. And I'm watching him train all these fighters. And I don't know, I just seen him get frustrated a lot. And it's his job and everything. I didn't know that at the time. But I would listen to the things he was telling him, and it made sense to me. I don't know why. It just clicked. And I wanted to kind of show him that the things he was saying worked, And that's kind of how I got into boxing. I kind of wanted to try it. And when I told him I wanted to box, he didn't really take me serious at first, but I kind of proved it as we went along, and it just happened. Everything just fell into place.
Are you from San Diego?
No, I'm from New York.
Okay,
that's crazy. You remember that? Because I used to make that motherfucker do some Karate Kid shit. When he said that. I'd be like, "Oh, you want to fight, right? Go sit in the ring and close your eyes." And I swear, did I not?
No,
take these chopsticks.
No, he would be in the ring like this. I said, "Now imagine yourself." When the bell ring, you know how you guys start? Right. He would just, for 3 minutes, and then when the bell ring for 30 seconds, he could open his eyes. 3 rounds of just imagining yourself boxing. I swear to God. That's
the real shadow boxing?
Well, yeah, for real. I only did that with him. I wanted to discourage him from boxing, but it didn't work.
Yeah, no, I'm probably there. I think, we know how dangerous it is, and so for our kids to do it, everyone always asks me, because I played in the NFL, I played football, and they're always saying, hey, are you going to let your kids play football? And I say, I'm not going to let them play football until high school if they want to play football, but I'll never push them towards it, because I just know, I had 8 documented concussions, which probably means I had 50 or 100 concussions that I played through. And there's a lot of times I can see certain things in myself, and I'm like, man, I don't want that for my kid. I want them to, but in the same respect, just got to let them pave their own path. And if that's what they want to do and it's who they are, you got to just support it like what you're doing. It's hard though. It's really, really hard, because I don't want to see my kid laying lifeless on the field like my parents had to watch me when I got a concussion. I'm completely knocked out. That's I just got to see my last game at Kansas State. I got a concussion. I was out cold, and I'd never seen the footage before because I never wanted to go back and watch it, and it was bad. Just watching myself lay there, it was like, oh my God, that was pretty bad, and I would never want to see my son laying there like that. So, but they're going to pave their own path and let them do. They're going to be their own person, and do the thing. So we got Tijuana, which is amazing. If I actually just love Tijuana,
Don't tempt him.
Yeah, don't tempt me with a good time. But you're gonna go down there. So do you go down there on Friday, or do you go down there tomorrow? What's your guys' schedule like for this weekend?
Yeah, we're supposed to go down there tomorrow. We have one more press conference. Then Friday we weigh in. Saturday fight night.
Yeah, and then do you stay down there for a victory?
We say we do, we will, but we usually don't. We just come right back. And there's a lot of stuff going on right now, so we probably just want to hurry up and take care of business and come back.
There is a lot of is that border stuff still going on where all the refugees want to come over?
Yeah, it's
we've
bad.
We've been going back and forth, and nothing's really changed.
They got a wall up.
Yeah.
They got a fucking wall.
Oh, yeah.
Bob wire.
You seen the wall with the bob? Yeah.
Oh,
so
yeah,
they
yeah.
got it. But we actually traveled pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, that's good. That's good.
How many people are going to be going down, like in the crew? Because one of the coolest things for us, just doing this podcast, going behind the smoke, we were able to have Andy Murad, Tooth Fairy, come on his fight week.
Yeah.
We went up to Burbank to cover that fight and watched him with the Muay Thai championship. You were in the corner, and we got behind the smoke, like literally media passes to go watch the pre-fight warm up, watch you talking to Andy, getting his putting on his wraps, going through warm ups, and then it was just such a cool thing. As someone that loves fight night, someone that was, I grew up with Tyson and, getting together with friends and watching fight night, going behind the scenes and watching that was really cool. Tell us what kind of, what did you tell Andy during his fight? He went 5 rounds. He won the title. He got one in a decision. They almost called the fight because he was bleeding so bad. But, what are you going to take from that experience?
I kind of separate myself when I'm in like the corner where I'm training somebody, and then when I'm actually in there. The cool thing though is when I told my dad I wanted to fight, he actually wanted me in the gym working as well, So that's kind of like how I got my experience, and I just and just like in boxing, same as in training, I just try to take a page out of my dad's book, and a lot of the things my dad tells me I kind of repeat, and it actually works. It helps the fighters. It helps me, keeps me on my toes mentally. So I don't remember exactly what I was telling Andy, but I know it's a lot of the same things my dad probably would have been telling me before.
Move your fucking head. Stop getting punched in the face.
Stop getting punched in the face.
Probably one of the things my dad would say.
Yeah. Stop getting knocked in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Andy gets better when he gets punched in the face.
He does.
He
He's
does.
a fucking bulldog.
He's a beast. Man.
He's a bulldog. I actually wrestled
If
with him
you're in
in high
a barroom
school.
fight, you want him on your side.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He's
all gas.
He just keeps coming
All
forward.
gas. All gas all the time.
Stop. Slow
For
down,
sure.
boy. It's really cool to watch him and watch you guys and everyone do their thing. It's something different for us. Everyone says, "Eric, why don't you box?" It's because I just can't stand getting punched in the face.
I can't imagine anyone punching you in the face.
It's not
I try
for
to
me.
avoid that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a big
not-
dude. Nobody's trying to punch you.
No, not my gig though. So there's multiple belts in boxing.
Yes, sir.
Am I correct? But the WBC is
The most prestigious
one. So it's kind of like the NFL of the boxing. Like the best of the best get to go there. How many different ones are there?
There's several. There's even some we probably never even heard of. But there's the main ones are WBC, WBA, IBF, WBO, IBO. Right?
Yep.
Why are there so many?
Oh, in the ringside, right?
Money. Yeah,
Money?
Well, ringside, yeah. Money. Because, you and I, we could come up with a behind the smoke belt if we have an organization and we got money behind it and we get a legitimate champion.
Mm-hmm.
You got to realize, like, the IBF really wasn't a legitimate belt until Larry Holmes won that title. Then all of a sudden, it became like the WBC and the WBA. And then, like, the WBO was one of the belts that's relatively new, like, was in the 80s. It was, the WBO came about. That wasn't well respected until like a real good champion like Oscar De La Hoya became the WBO champion. Then it's like, oh shit, the WBO is legitimate now. So if we could, like I said, we could come up with a belt right now, and as long as we have money behind it and a legitimate champion, then we'll be somebody.
How do you fix boxing?
You don't.
You don't? Why not?
Because it's for the crooks. This is the only sport like that, right? This is the only sport like it is. So you can't fix it. You won't fix it. It's got to stay the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, throwing a party. That's all the promoters do is they're throwing a party, but it's a fight. It's never going to change.
So now going towards, the training and doing everything, do you watch your opponent? Like for me in football, right? I sit down and we watch weeks of film on we're playing Oklahoma, and I'm watching my opponent, his first step, what he's doing when he's pulling, what does he do? Is he light on his hand? Is he forward? Is he pushing forward? Are his hips up? Like I look at every little thing. Do you do that, or do you more concentrate on yourself? Because I know there's some people that really like to just concentrate on like beat me. Like I'm gonna be my best. I don't care what the fuck you do because I'll beat it. Like, do you guys take that approach, or do you guys take the approach of like, okay, let's see what they do and see if we can counter them?
That's more my approach toward it. I look at it as he's going to fight me differently anyway because of the way my physical attributes are and everything. I'm not like any of the opponents he has fought. So I try not to watch tape on my opponent maybe once or twice, maybe see how he comes out or something.
So
but
you take the John Wooden approach?
Yeah.
You focus on you.
Yeah, for sure.
You focus on you and your craft and how you can be better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And my dad, on the other hand, so he breaks it down.
Right.
Every day there's something new. He's doing this, he's doing that, and this is what I want you to do to beat that. You know what I mean? So my dad, he's always watching tape on my opponent. Every fight. There hasn't been one fight that he hasn't.
Has that gotten easier with technology now that
whether
YouTube
it's, shit?
Whether it's televised or
Most
not televised,
definitely.
you can always get film, or you can get film from a different angle.
I had a
That'll help you break
hookup.
something down.
I had a hookup Skip.
You got a guy?
No, back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
He died.
Really?
Thank God for YouTube. Yeah, he used to send me all my tapes of my opponent. His name was Skip. Back in the '90s, he passed away. But YouTube made it way easier. Because I had to pay for that shit.
Right. There's a guy named Bruce Baumgartner who's a wrestler who was one of the best heavyweight wrestlers in the world. He went to the Olympics and everything, but he was like, I have 4 moves. Beat him.
Yeah.
I perfect these 4 moves. If you can beat them, you're going to beat me. Plain and simple. It didn't matter who was in front of him. He just had 4. And some people take that approach and it works, and it's great. Obviously, it worked for him. He's in the fucking Olympics, right? But I was always way more strategic. I wasn't the biggest. I wasn't the fastest. I wasn't the strongest, but I was the smartest. I always felt like I can figure out. Then you put it all together, and then it just all works out together. So that's good that you take the approach and not really wanting to see your opponent.
Right.
Let your dad do that, and he can train you the way he wants to train you
Exactly.
to make sure if this guy's stepping this way that you're ready for those things. So that's a great little system you guys got going. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Tell us about the boxing program, Tiger Smalls Boxing. You have at 10th Planet. Talk about how you train fighters, what age you start taking them.
My son teaches the kids programs.
What ages?
From 5 on.
Yeah,
right?
I take
from
him
5
from 5
on.
on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When I used to do the kids program, I'll take him right from the cradle.
Yeah.
But after I passed that on to my son said 5 years old, so 5 it is now. But no, I'm serious too. I would tell him just have him in the gym,
Just on the tits.
just have him around it. You know what I mean? But I teach the 6 p.m. the main boxing class, and then I teach all the professional boxers. I have Ivan, one of my heavyweights. He's also fighting on the card. He teaches two of my 6 a.m. classes, and he also trains some of my amateurs. He has an amateur as well, a female amateur. So I have a system where I'm teaching classes, regular people, doing PTs for people to get in shape, kids that want to be amateurs, and I got 5 pros, and all of them are undefeated except him.
Why do you think
He's got one
Why do you think
loss.
San Diego is such a hotbed for not just boxing but MMA in general?
I don't know. I think San Diego is hotter for MMA because of the wrestling and the jiu-jitsu. I think the jiu-jitsu is out here in San Diego is great. We have like how many 10th planets right now in San Diego? We got the Oceanside, the Poway, Spring Valley, Mission Valley, which is the, so the jiu-jitsu programs out here. And then you got some competitors, some solid competitors on the jiu-jitsu. So I think that's why MMA is so big out here in San Diego. And then Mexico, is a big boxing country.
Always.
And then we bordered with Mexico. That's why I want him to fight a lot in Mexico, because once you get that fan base, you've got a huge fan base in the boxing world.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So with us being so close to Mexico, that makes us even a bigger boxing town. You know what I mean? So that's how we got it so good on both parts, in my opinion.
So Tiger, how do you feel about when you were boxing and now coaching? Do you get the same amount of gratification for when you won as a fighter as you do for someone that you're training? No.
I mean, people hated me as a fighter.
Right.
I was an asshole. Because of him, people love me. I deal with the same fucking people that hated me. I swear to God, I deal with the same fucking promoters and matchmakers that hated me, that love me now because of this guy.
Right.
You know what I mean? So.
Is it because he smiles more?
I think so. He's way better looking, so I don't know. Maybe it's that he's, I don't know. They like him, so they like me.
But watching him get a win, I mean, how does that make you feel?
Oh, man, so proud. I mean, like I'll say it again, and I'll probably say it again Saturday night on one of my posts. A lot of people wait years to meet their favorite fighter. I raised mine.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm fortunate.
That's actually really, really cool.
Really cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, just covering Andy's fight and being up there, I mean, they tell you, you can't make a scene, as part of the media, you can't cheer for the fighter. I'm like, oh, fuck, I felt like I won the fucking title.
Okay.
I was like, get him, Andy, get him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so how do people follow you? What on social? Where do they go? How do they follow you?
You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat.
What's your handle?
Prince_T Smalls.
Perfect.
And then Facebook, just search Prince Tiger Smalls.
Okay.
It should come up.
And then the boxing program, where do they go?
Tiger Smalls Boxing on Instagram. I think we have a Twitter account for them as well, but for sure Instagram at Tiger Smalls Boxing, and then there's a page on Facebook that you could like, Tiger Smalls Boxing.
And seriously, guys, if you're in San Diego, you want to do something with boxing, I'm not just saying it because I'm there and I see it every day, but this is the best of the best in San Diego. So make sure you guys come out. We thank you guys so much for coming and joining us on this podcast. And good luck, man. This is going to be amazing. I'm going to try to get down to Tijuana if I can this weekend. I just don't know if I'll ever come back.
If you go behind the smoke in Tijuana, Derek might not be coming back.
We'll be good.
We want to give some shout outs, though.
Dude, go for it.
Give some big shout outs to you guys. All the sponsors.
Appreciate
you know what I'm saying? So we definitely want to give shout outs.
Oh, absolutely.
So, hook them up.
And I appreciate you guys having us behind the smoke, Valley Farm. A couple of my sponsors, I have TC1 Gel help me out. Well, my gym, of course, 10th Planet. What else is there? My dad. I don't think I really gotta shout you out. You're part of me.
Yeah,
but
shout out Pops
for sure. And then I got a Workaholics that's backing me up. That's a clothing brand out here in San Diego. What else is there? Melanin Life. And I think that's it. Everlast for sure. Yeah.
You don't want to piss off Ernie.
Yeah, they helped me out since I broke my hand. I broke my hand in one of my fights, and he's been helping me out since then. So
yeah, I mean it's so important for people that listen to the podcast. I mean you can't be a professional athlete. You can't be a competitive team. I mean it takes a village to do these things, and anytime you can get any kind of support, no matter where that support comes from, it's important to give back. Derek and I, we talk about sponsorships all the time. If we don't have people stepping up to help us put on these events, if I didn't ask Derek to sponsor the Spring Valley Barbecue Festival, we probably wouldn't be podcasting here today. So it's 10 years ago. So don't be afraid to ask for sponsorship. But yeah, thank you guys for coming behind the smoke. It means a lot to have such respected fighters come in above the butcher shop to share your story. Thank you guys for listening. Please keep hashtagging us behind the smoke. Let us know what's going on. This week's social shout out is going to the Pacific Dawn at Pacific Dawn Sports Fishing. They keep interacting with us. It's not about barbecue. They have a fishing business, charter business. Derek's a huge fisherman. I love to get out on the ocean, but they send us their photos. We appreciate that. So no matter what you're doing, share your story with us behind the smoke. Thanks for listening, and go out and support our guys right here, 10th Planet, Tiger Smalls Boxing, and Prince. Let's get her done. Let's see that belt.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for it.
I'm down with that.
All right.
All right. Hey guys, this is Sean and Derek, and we just really want to thank you for listening to the podcast. It means the world to us. We'd like you to go check out behindthesmokemedia.com. That's our website where we have barbecue resources for you to help build your barbecue business. We also have events listed, so anything that's happening in the West Coast barbecue movement, anything that's going on, we want you to go check that out so you can learn more and get involved. We also have show notes from all the episodes, so anything we talked about in the episodes, you can find detailed show notes there. Plus, you can just get in touch with us. It's important that we're here as a resource for you, so please reach out. Let us know how Derek and I can help you with your barbecue journey. Get involved, stay curious, and follow us on social at Barbecue War Stories. We'll talk to you soon.